The book of Adam and Eve, chapter 32. And Adam and Eve remained in the cave of treasures until the seventh day. They neither ate of the fruit of the earth nor drank water. Here we go, y'all. Another first. The very first fast of humanity's history. In the book of Adam and Eve, chapter 32. All praise. Wow. And when it dawned on the eighth day, Adam said to Eve, O Eve, we prayed to the Most High Power to give us somewhat from the garden, and he sent his angels who brought us what we had desired. But now, arise, let us go to the sea of water we saw at first, and let us stand in it, praying that the Most High Power will again be favorable to us and take us back to the garden, or give us something, or that he will give us comfort in some other land than this in which we are. Then Adam and Eve came out of the cave, went and stood on the border of the sea in which they had before thrown themselves. And Adam said to Eve, Come, go down into this place, and come not out of it until the end of 30 days, when I shall come to thee, and pray to the Most High Power with a fervent heart and a sweet voice to forgive us. And I will go to another place, and go down into it, and do like thee. Then Eve went down into the water as Adam had commanded her. Adam also went down into the water, and they stood praying and besought the Most High Power of Israel to forgive them their offense and to restore them to their former state. And they stood thus praying unto the end of the 35 days. The book of Adam and Eve, chapter 33. Third apparition of Satan to Adam and Eve. But Satan, the hater of all good, sought them in the cave, but found them not, although he searched diligently for them. But he found them standing in the water praying, and thought within himself, Adam and Eve are thus standing in the water beseeching the Most High Power to forgive them their transgression, and to restore them to their former estate, and to take them from under my hand. But I will deceive them, so that they shall come out of the water and not fulfill their vow. Then the hater of all good went not to Adam, but he went to Eve, and took the form of an angel of the Most High Power, praising and rejoicing, and said to her, Peace be unto thee, be glad and rejoice. God is favorable unto you, and he sent me to Adam. I have brought him the glad tidings of salvation, and of his being filled with bright light, and he was at first. And Adam in his joy for his restoration had sent me to thee, that thou come to me, in order that I crown thee with light like him. And he said to me, Speak unto Eve, if she does not come with thee, tell her of the sign when we were on the top of the mountain, how God sent his angels who took us and besought us to the cave of treasures, and laid the gold on the south side, incense on the eastern side, and myrrh on the western side. Now come to him. When Eve heard these words from him, she rejoiced greatly, and thinking that Satan's appearance was real, she came out of the sea. He went before, and she followed him until they came to Adam. Then Satan hid himself from her, and she saw him no more. She then came and stood before Adam, who was standing by the water, and rejoicing in the Most High's forgiveness. And as she called to him, he turned around, found her there, and wept when he saw her, and smote upon his breast, and from the bitterness of his grief he sank into the water. But the Most High Power looked upon him, and upon his misery, and upon his being about to breathe his last. And the word of the Most High came from heaven, raised him out of the water, and said unto him, Go up to the high bank to Eve. And when he came up to Eve, he said unto her, Who said to thee, Come hither? Then she told him the discourse of the angel who had appeared unto her, and had given her a sign. But Adam grieved and gave her to know it was Satan. He then took her, and they both returned to the cave. These things happened to them the second time they went down to the water 7 days after their coming out of the garden. They fasted in the water 35 days, although 42 days since they had left the garden. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and all of Israel. Father, I am that I am, and his only begotten Son, the Son of Man, the Messiah, the Redeemer, to finally come and save the small remnant left of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Israel, keep your head up and your faith strong in spiritual Jacob's trouble. These were two mighty chapters, as we read in the book of Adam and Eve, chapter 32, the very first fast of man. You know what I'm saying? And then in the book of Adam and Eve, chapter 33, we had the third appearance of this wicked serpent. When will he ever get enough? When will he ever understand enough is enough? Oh, that's why the Messiah has to come to finally put a rid to all this evil in this matrix of an evil, wicked world. And with that being said, I want to kind of break down, you know what I'm saying, some thoughts that was in my head as I came home from work earlier today, and I just had to record it. So with that being said, Israel, keep your faith strong, your head up, and spiritual Jacob's trouble, because it's only going to get worse before it gets any better. And with that being said, Israelite men, Judites, hey, if you have a household, you better hold your household down. You better not let your missus be doing all the dirty work. You better be doing the brunt of the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have children in this world. With that being said, hey, salute to all the righteous still in these last days. And with that being said, this next clip will be me ranting right when I got home from work earlier today. All praise, shalom. All right, y'all. So usually when I get back home, from work, I say a little prayer to the Most High before I got to go into, hell, and I'll explain that later. Right now, I'm inside my car, you know what I'm saying? And I'll explain this later. But while I was, me and the Most High was having our moment, I had an exhale, like when you inhale, and then you just have that that exhale moment, that ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? While I was in prayer with the Most High, I just had that exhale moment, because again, leaving my workplace filled with Gentiles and all the spirits that's on them that conjure up against the righteous, the few righteous that are left trying still, again, to keep the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. So I'm at work constantly looking over my shoulder, constantly looking around corners, because Gentile, I don't know. The ones that took that juice, they be moving weird, bro. They move extremely fast, bro. They be moving fast. And then if you don't catch them in the corner of your eye, you'll turn around and they'll be right behind you. How did you get there, bruh? Are y'all real live robots already? I know y'all took the, you know what I'm saying, I'm not even gonna get into it. Y'all know what y'all did. And the people that's listening know what they did to they self. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying? We know, as far as your DNA and your biology goes, y'all done made a terrible mistake. Let's just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to mix iron and clay. You can't do that. You can't mix man and machine. It ain't gonna work. It might seem like it's gonna work. But anyway, this is off the subject. So I leave work. When I come home, I woosah. Me and the Most High, we have our one-on-one time. And then a quick premonition came on me right as I was giving the exhale. And the premonition was, so I leave one hell, I inhale, I exhale, just to come back to a new hell. Let me say that again and then I'll break it down. I leave one hell. I inhale. I exhale. Just to come back to a new hell. Oh, hell. Dang. That ain't good. Now, what I mean is, I leave one hell, which is my job, you know what I'm saying, that I only do for the paycheck. I don't involve myself in none of the company. I try not to involve myself in none of the company little like sit down brunches, lunches, none of that, bro. I ain't associated with none of this. I only come strictly to get this check and I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I leave one hell, boom, which is my job. I inhale when I finally park my car in my apartment parking spot, you know what I'm saying? Which is really some goofiness because you got to park next to people that don't know how to park. But that's another subject. Anyway, you park your car, you inhale. And this is just the inhale of you being a young single black man with no responsibilities, no child, no wife, no kids. Just that good inhale that I'm finna go in and just make me a good sandwich or make me a good, you know what I'm saying, a chicken in the oven with some potatoes and carrots and beans, bruh. Matter of fact, that's gonna be my dinner tonight. Just thinking about things like that, thinking about what could potentially come in the future as far as wifey goes, but then realizing that we're in Babylon the Great. So it's going to be damn near impossible to find wifey, especially in these last days. You know what I'm saying? And if you do find wifey, I'm talking about a righteous Israelite sister. I ain't talking about these other nations. I'm talking about my beautiful princesses. Once you find her, then you got to worry about if she took the juice. If she didn't take the juice, you got to worry about she got kids. If she ain't got kids, you got to worry about, you got to check all these things off the box before you could finally say, dang, I finally found that one. And you know how rare that is to find nowadays? A righteous sister with no kids. Hey, and no offense to the sisters that got kids. In whatever situation y'all had or whatever, however you had the kids, I'm talking about my situation. You heard? And I'm not trying to be conceited. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm just speaking my situation. Again, the biblical prophets back in ancient times, they used to say whatever was on their mind. They didn't care about nobody's feelings getting hurt. That was the last thing on their mind. The word was getting out, cutting throats, literally. Well, not literally, but just cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to speeches and all that. Anyway. All right. So again, I leave one hell. I inhale. That's that good inhale. You know what I'm saying? That single man, that bachelor. I exhale like because I know that I'm finna step into a whole new hell. What do you mean by that? What I mean is I live around the unrighteous, bruh. I'm forced to live in the apartments. Is Jacob's trouble the living around the unrighteous? Is that what it really is? Because most of Jake is in apartment situations, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Let's break it down real quick. Imagine it, and let's look in the spiritual realm. We're not talking about the physical. Let's look in the spiritual realm. All right, peep game. You got spirits, whether you want to believe it or not. Spirits are real, and spirits are moving around invisibly all around us, every day, all day. All kind of spirits, righteous spirits, unrighteous, more unrighteous spirits than righteous, because again, this world is the adversaries for now until the Messiah comes and cracks that sky and turns the tables. Again, that's another subject. But let's look in the spiritual eyes of it all. You know what I'm saying? So spirits, familiar spirits specifically, I'm talking about those generational spirits, those familiar spirits, you know, the spirit of drinking, the spirit of pornography, the spirit of lust, specific lust, the spirit of smoking cigarettes. That, like, these are familiar spirits, you know what I'm saying? And some people do them and they don't even know. But anyway, those spirits, they get to hop. Just imagine an apartment building that has anywhere from 4 to 6 residents in that building. So that's easy pickings to these principalities and spirits in high dark places. You know what I'm saying? But then you got to understand that these spirits, they have rankings. You know what I'm saying? So some spirits, they probably like higher ranking spirits possess certain people that they know that, you know, any day now they could just fully possess them. You know what I'm saying? And then you got other ones, you know what I'm saying, where their willpower isn't as weak as certain individuals. I'm talking about the weak ones. The weak ones, the stronger, you know what I'm saying, principalities, that's theirs, because they know they could do whatever they want, whenever they want. But then the ones that have the stronger willpower, you know what I'm saying, they probably hand those off to the weaker spirits. So just imagine a righteous Israelite in an apartment building of, again, 6 residents. Imagine them all wicked, but then you got one righteous, one that still tries to follow the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of his abilities. One that has put down the lust of watching porn, the lust of smoking, the lust of drinking excessively. You know what I'm saying? The lust of a lot of vain things I used to do back in my old man days. Imagine how them spirits probably like, hold on. Like they probably come all in allegiance for that one righteous brother or sister. They all like say, all right, bump all these. Like, these are all our hosts. We ain't got to worry about them. They'll be here whenever we want them. But it's this righteous one. We don't like his energy. It's too righteous. It's too right. You know what I'm saying? That light is shining too bright. So they all gonna conjure up in an allegiance, in a legion, to try to get you. You know what I'm saying? To try to make you back and backslide in your old ways. You heard? And that's what I go through on a daily basis, bruh. Because y'all don't understand spiritual warfare. And to the ones that do understand it, hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. But to the ones that don't understand spiritual warfare, oh, you're gonna understand it. You know what I'm saying? There's hot, there's cold, and there's lukewarm. Every single human being on this earth is gonna fall into one of those 3 categories. And guess which category is gonna have the majority of the people in it? The lukewarm. The lukewarm is the ones that I used to be. I used to be like y'all. I used to be the one where I used to listen to the word, but the word, I didn't want to commit. You know what I'm saying? I knew the Bible was real, and this is my old man. I'm talking, past tense. I knew the Bible was real in the back of my head, but at the same time, I didn't want to give up doing whatever I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to give up that website with my lotion. I didn't want to give it up. But once you give it up, oh man, once you give that up, that's when the attacks begin. And I'm talking about attacks, hey, just like it says in Revelation. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing. What it say? The dragon or the serpent was wroth with the woman? Why you think the serpent or the dragon was wroth? And you know how mad you got to be wroth? There's mad, there's angry, then there's wroth. You know what I'm saying? To be wroth with somebody is you got your teeth out. You mad. You're like, I'm about to get you, whether it takes my last breath. That's wrath, bro. The dragon, the serpent is wroth with us right now. He gonna send every single agent he has in his playbook against you, Israel. That's what spiritual Jacob's trouble is. And that's what leads into physical Jacob's trouble. And when I say y'all all gonna feel it, it's because nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Everybody's finna feel it. It's just that, again, Israel feels everything first. Israel always gets the first serving of everything. You know what I'm saying? Just like in Revelations, Israel, the chosen, the sealed elect are gonna be the ones that get sealed first. And then that's when destruction happens. It's always Israel first. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Jacob's trouble, Israel gonna feel it first, just so they could feel and understand and overstand what's going on. It's kind of like the Most High gives us a little cheat code, because he lets us feel it first, while everybody else walking around normally, we understand and overstand what's going on. So when the whole world goes through what you going through, then you know how to maneuver, because you already been on a level. You know what I'm saying? The level that they finna be on, you already been on that level months ago, years ago. Now we on a whole new spiritual warfare, when they're just beginning spiritual warfare. So they like babies in it. They like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Some of them might pass out from it. They not ready for it, bruh. And again, when I say hot, cold, and lukewarm, most of y'all listening are lukewarm. Most of y'all listening are probably some Christianities, you know what I'm saying, sects. Some of y'all believe in the Son and not the Father. Others believe in the whole Trinity complex. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are all one entity, instead of them all being three separate entities. Some of y'all believe in that, and all that falls under lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of religion other than your heritage of following the Bible as an Israelite, or a righteous, humble Gentile that knows your background, you know your bloodline, you know who you are as a person, but at the same time, you want to come back to that bronze skin Messiah. You want to come back to him, because you don't want to be the Gentile that the Messiah is straight letting all kind of just sharp two-edged swords just go through him. You don't want to be that kind of Gentile. You want to be the Gentile that'll be on the outer courts of the kingdom, still doing kingdom work on the outer courts, mind you. You're not going to be in the inner courts. You're going to be doing work on the outer courts, but at least you're close enough to the kingdom that you're protected from all that lake of fire that's going to be all on the outside of the kingdom, consuming everything that's not righteous. And with that being said, y'all, let me go ahead and go into this wicked apartment. I already got a plan B, you know what I'm saying? I already told myself this is going to be my last year working. We have plans in line. Hopefully they play out for us. If not, it is what it is. We're going to keep fighting until, our last breath. If the Most High blesses some of his chosen elect with the gift of never having to die, because in the end times in Revelation, it does say that it's going to be a few that never taste death from their birth. You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? That means it's going to be some brothers living and breathing right now that's going to be there when Messiah cracks the sky. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be there, and they're going to reign with him in that 1,000-year reign. And then after that is everlasting life. So basically, they will never taste death. You know how much of a blessing that is? To not have to die and then get, risen back for judgment. Instead, no, you never had to die. So that means you automatically know that you're one of the elect. You automatically know. All praise to the power of the Son of Man, Abraham, Isaac, and all of Israel. Father, I am that I am, and his only begotten Son, the Son of Man, the Messiah, the Redeemer. Let me go ahead and, unfortunately, go into this second hell, aka spiritual Jacob's trouble. It is real, and it only gets worse, y'all. To the ones that's not going through no kind of Jacob's trouble, and you're a bloodline Israelite, you need to examine yourself. You need to see why you're not being tried as gold in the fire. And the fire is this life. The gold is you. Sirach 2 and 5. Look it up. All praise. Israel, keep your head up and your faith strong in spiritual Jacob's trouble. Because once it transitions to physical Jacob's trouble, hey, only your faith that's going to be the only thing that keeps you sane in them last times. Shalom.